Welcome back, everybody. It is Vlad coming at you here on the 7th of February 2023. It's been a minute since I've made a video. Been wrapped up in life, I guess you could say. Started a new job a while back and just have been kind of consumed with life and family, job, all that. And so watching the crypto markets has not really been all that fun over the last several months. And so I've just kind of taken a step back and just kind of let things be. I haven't really done much in crypto over the last several months. I've just been doing everything else. So I did want to touch base because I had noticed that Saitama has been really making some waves here recently, and so I wanted to do an update video for them, and so here we are. Once again, as always, I am not your financial advisor. This is just my opinions, perceptions, ambitions of things to come. I was an early holder in Saitama back before they really took off, before version 2, before Saitama Realty, before any of that. Essentially, I found them really early on, and I put less than $100 in on my first investment, which ended up being really substantial. I think in Vegas that was worth almost $20,000. So it was pretty fantastic to see. But you know, everything that's been going on, the war in Ukraine, everything else in the world itself has just kind of played a major impact on not just crypto but all of the markets, whether it's stocks, crypto, whatever. Everything has suffered. Investors are just not confident like they were, especially with crypto. There's been so much of just deceit and rug pulls and everything else with crypto. Even with some of the larger names, big celebrities have been involved, like Mark Cuban. And one of the projects of the apes, NFTs, I mean, it's really had a negative spotlight cast on crypto. We've also got the United States government, you know, basically coming down hard on crypto, or at least they're trying to impose sanctions, all sorts of other things. So the future for crypto at this point has definitely been uncertain for a lot of folks, and you've seen that in the markets, unfortunately. But Saitama is rebounding, and right now they're doing really well. Actually, over the last month, it looks like they pretty much sustained, should I say, their price point and everything. So getting into it, if you look over here at coin market cap, right at the current moment, they're at 0.002621. So whenever they did the relaunch from V1 to V2, essentially the supply was shortened, cut, whatever you want to call it. They took a lot of it out, essentially, and so now you're holding a lot less than what you were. If you were a holder in Saitama back whenever they did the launch, they airdropped tokens to everybody, essentially. I didn't have to do anything. They just sent me the tokens. Same thing with my Saitama Realty that I was holding. Whenever Saitama Realty was relaunched, they airdropped me my tokens. I didn't have to do anything. So it was, I mean, a flawless, in my opinion, launch for their version 2 for both Saitama and Saitama Realty. The thing about what I saw with some folks is they were complaining and they didn't get their tokens yet, and it was a matter of how many tokens you were holding whenever the snapshot was taken. They started at the top of the list and worked their way down. So if you were down there towards the bottom of the list, it just took some time to get to you, but as far as I know, they got everybody's tokens out. So they did really well in that, versus I hold Impact XP, and unfortunately I had to manually migrate my tokens. And I mean, I once held over $15,000 in Impact XP, and it's worth less than $20 now. You know, kind of one of those things. I wish I'd kind of sold at the high and then been able to just buy back in, but I wasn't really paying attention on that one as much. And when they dropped, you know, from their initial high, it was pretty fast, and so I kind of missed out on that. I wasn't expecting them to jump up like they did initially. It was really quick within their launch. They jumped, I don't even remember, over 1,000%, basically within the first month and a half. But everything's kind of leveled back out as you look at all of crypto. This is the last month here for Saitama here on CoinMarketCap, and as you can see back over here on the 9th of January, it was way down, 0.001, and compared to today, up substantially, 0.002 plus. So, you know, 2.5 actually, 2.6 fluctuating, but it'll get back. It really will, considering you have a coin here that is, you're still really early on it. They have not been listed on any of the top 5 exchanges. We'll get into that a little bit more when we go over to Twitter here and look at some of the tweets from some of the Saitama officials. But yeah, Saitama is still very early. Most of these crypto projects, even if they've been around for a couple of years now, are very early, unless we're talking about, Binance or something that's been around for several years, or Bitcoin, Ethereum, your major players that have been around for several years. But any of these tokens that have just established themselves in the last 2 years or less, they are still really new. A lot of them are still building their utility, and once they establish that utility and get it up and running to where it's a flawless endeavor, it takes time to do that, and it's not something that anybody can just overnight, boom, here it is and it works. I mean, I worked for Geek Squad years ago, and I've seen so many problems related with all sorts of tech, all sorts of software, including the biggest names out there. So it's not that anybody is going to be impervious to having failures when trying to launch a project, whatever you've got in the works here for crypto. It's more than just a product. They've got a token, they've got NFTs, they've got a metaverse, they've got Saitama Realty, which is a real world investment into real estate with the token. So lots of different aspects and a lot of utility with this token compared to most other tokens that I've seen. I really don't know that I've seen a token that has quite as much just utility built into their project, as far as they've got hands everywhere in different aspects doing different things. And I think that in the long term, whenever they get established, especially if they can dodge all of the regulations coming towards crypto in the coming years, they'll be one of the major players in the game. I truly believe that, and that's why I invested in them long ago. That's why I've been covering videos on them for a long time now. So let's get right into it. If you want to, here's the DEX tools. If you prefer DEX over coin market cap, basically kind of shows the exact same thing. Since early January, the price has gone up substantially, holding at around 2.7 over here is what it's showing, 0.27 or 0.0027. If you go over to their website, we are Saitama, essentially. Here you can watch that video, saitamatoken.com. I'll have links to all these pages in your description below. You can just click on show more, and you should see all those links there. I need to update those because some of my links from my last video for Saitama probably don't even work anymore. They've kind of changed some stuff with the relaunch and everything, obviously. So they've got a new DEX tools, they've got a new coin market cap now. So if you go back to any of my old links on my old videos, they're probably going to be for the old Saitama project. Getting into some of the officials over here, let's look at, this is Russ with he's the CFO of Saitama, and he has been, I guess, just the main guy for this project ever since they took over. Initially, Saitama was a project that was launched by an individual, and I'm not sure the whole details behind it all. I can't remember, but several of the people who were early investors, like Russ, Nam, Gabriel, they took over basically, and they stepped up and decided to be the community players, I guess, that were going to shoulder the responsibility of taking this project and making what it is. They've invested a lot of their own time and their money, and they've undergone a lot of scrutiny, a lot of attacks, left and right, lots of drama. You know how life is. So and I'm sure there will be more to come. It's the world of crypto. But if you want, make sure come over, follow Russ and all of the other guys here at Saitama. They've got some great tweets coming out here. This one, I haven't even seen this. This is basically just redone, or I'm going to retweet it here, but it was just put out right here. The Hungry Wolf, Saitama Realtors, just imagine if Manny implements a function on Saitama Pro where you could rent Saitama Realty properties like Airbnb using crypto. And Russ retweeted that he loves this idea, and basically it's right there. That's a true businessman, a true entrepreneur, realizing that you don't always necessarily have the best ideas and that you need to be open to whatever somebody else might have to suggest, because it could be something that could really benefit your project. It's nice to have somebody that kind of take a step outside the box, doesn't see the same things that you see every day, and might see something different. You can buy Saita Realty exclusively on Saita Swap and hashtag Saita Pro in a few simple steps. Share the video with friends and family to help them join the project that will help revolutionize tokenized real estate. Yeah, pretty awesome. If you haven't already, make sure that you do get yourself a Saita Swap. Download it on your phone. They've got Android or Apple. They've got it all basically. They've even got the desktop app if you want to do it that way, if I'm not mistaken now. But lots of great stuff about Saitama, about Saitama Realty. The price points for both of them have gone up substantially over the last several weeks. Almost double, it seems like, for Saita Realty on their price point. So they are rebounding as well. It's been really great to see something in the crypto world finally turning around. It didn't seem like we were ever going to get out of that crypto winter that we've been in for so long now. And like I said, I just didn't really see much point in making a whole lot of videos whenever not much had changed as far as everything in the projects was all still in the works. Everybody was still talking about the same things they'd been talking about. Some progress had been made, but as far as major events, those are still yet to come, folks. Like, if you haven't gotten in now, definitely do your research on these projects, and if you think it's something you'd be interested in, get yourself a bag. Saita Swap is definitely one of the best places to do it. Saita Pro, however you need to do that there, but they're definitely a project, I think, that in maybe 5 years time, 10 years time, if you invested today, you will be thanking yourself that you did. You have to go back to looking at just prior moments in history whenever you had a new emerging technology, and what people did as far as investments back in those days. People who invested early in projects like Apple, Google, Amazon, they made a lot of money off of those investments. I can promise you that. This is the same thing. You're investing in a company that you are expecting to be around for several years to come, and from where they are today, 10 years from now, I expect them to be 100 times bigger, 1,000 times bigger. Price point, God only knows. We're sitting way under a penny at the current moment in time. Not too far, but in 10 years time, I expect them to be well over $1 in price. It would be great if they were something like Binance and several $100s for one token, but who can speculate? That's definitely something that nobody can say for sure. It's something that you as an investor can help facilitate, though. Get on here on Twitter, spread the word, retweet their tweets about the exciting news that comes out, and let people know what's coming, what's going on, so on and so forth. There's a lot of ways that you can help support the communities that you're a part of, the tokens that you've invested in. Like I said, just right here on Twitter, come over, check out what they're saying. This one was pretty cool. So it's saying right here, basically, you're saying that this token, Saitama, will be used like gas on Saita chain, and that means for all transactions, everything basically. And yeah, everybody's going to need to have it eventually. So if you are a holder now, you're ahead of the game. If you're adding to your bags whenever you can, definitely ahead of the game. And what you're buying Saitama for today, you're going to wish you could buy it for, in a few years to come. Especially, how many people wish they could go back to 2013 and buy Bitcoin? I do. I remember hearing about it, but I was just so wrapped up in life. I just had my first child. He was maybe not even 2 years old whenever Bitcoin came out. I was a single father at the time, and yeah, it just, between work, single dad, going to school, trying to finish up a college degree, man, yeah, that was the last thing on my mind. But now I definitely wish that I could go back, right? And so that's where I found Saitama, and I was like, you know what? This is a project I can invest in. They've got a good roadmap, a long-term investment that I can get in, and 10 years from now, it'll be my Bitcoin, So that's where I'm at with Saitama, and with a lot of these other projects related to Saitama. So, but I don't really have much else for you. I just wanted to give you a recap, let you know I'm still here. I just life has kind of been difficult to get to this and do this here lately, but I have been trying to make time for this and get back into it. So I wanted to get a video out today, give you an update with Saitama, let you know, hey, prices are pumping right now. Like I said, going back over coin market cap, they're showing a little bit different than the DEX for whatever reason. It probably needs to be refreshed or something, God only knows. But yeah, Saitama's still doing really well if you look at where they were at a month ago, and they've been holding steady. It's not like it's been just a pump and then we're ready for a dump. I mean, it's been holding. So definitely check them out if you don't already have a bag. If you do have a bag, now's a good time. Watch for those dips, help buy those dips back up, and let's keep that price point going, okay, Wolves? All right, I will let you get back to it. If you have any questions, leave those in the comments down below. Like I said, I'm not your financial advisor. Make sure to do your own research, and as always, Wolfpack, stay strong out there. It's a crazy world that we live in, but all right. Ow!